Now let's move from what you're doing online to who you're talking to. It's important to understand that some people don't have the best intentions and may make inappropriate requests. If the request is unwanted or made by an adult, then it's called a sexual solicitation. Full stop. Here are some examples of solicitation. You're in a video chat with someone you just met online and he asks you to pull up your shirt. A friend keeps asking you for revealing pictures even though you keep saying no. You're talking to someone on a social media site who asks you sexual questions and wants to meet up. Full stop. If another teen or an adult asks you to do something like this, you don't have to do it. Some teens are bothered by these requests, others aren't, but you all have the right to say no. Even though many teens aren't bothered by these kinds of requests, it's okay for you to be upset. If you get any kind of unwanted sexual request, you should block or unfriend the person who sent it. Report any inappropriate behavior to the website or app you're using. Talk to someone, a friend, an older sibling, or an adult you trust. Sometimes sexual solicitations can develop into more dangerous relationships with adults. In these cases, the adult tries to gain your trust by offering affection and attention. They may even try to meet you offline. You can see some of these methods in this video where two teen boys end up meeting people offline. Notice how the relationships grew out of something they thought was innocent.
It happened to me 5 years ago. My parents were divorcing and things at school and with friends weren't too good. I felt like the world was falling down around me. That's when I met someone online. We would chat about everything in my life. I finally had someone to take my side and see things my way. I had someone who put me first. No matter how much I thought we could trust each other, I knew better than to meet in person with someone I had met on the internet. But one day, when school was dismissed early, there was someone waiting for me at my front door. I never thought I'd find myself in this situation. I learned the hard way that no matter who you think you're talking to online, there are people out there looking to hurt you. It doesn't matter if they're male or female, or if they look a little rough around the edges, or even if they're the most beautiful person. These people exist, online and in the real world.
It happened to me too. I was 14 and someone online sent me a private message. I shouldn't have responded, but I messaged back and 7 days later, agreed to be picked up outside of my house at midnight. I was taken to another house and what happened there was terrifying. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I felt numb and powerless and didn't know what to do. I was too afraid to tell my parents and ashamed of what everyone would think of me. But hiding it was a mistake. I saw the car that I was taking and driving around my neighborhood all summer long. Was I being targeted again, or was someone else being victimized? I finally decided to tell someone.
I have to live with the decision I made to trust someone I met on the internet.
But the important thing is that I told someone. I'm not a victim, but a survivor.
Ryan says, I knew better than to meet in person with someone I'd met on the internet, but he still continues the relationship online and gives out information about where he lives. How does the adult get him to do that? Ryan thinks he found a friend who understands him and puts him first. This makes Ryan drop his guard and do something he knows is dangerous. The method used to gain Ryan's trust is called grooming. Full stop. Someone trying to groom you might flatter you, send you gifts, like cell phones or bus tickets, discuss adult subjects, like sex, ask you to keep secrets, such as not telling anyone about the relationship, turn you against your family and friends. They want you to depend on them, share or ask for revealing images, blackmail you. If you've shared revealing images or secrets with someone, they may threaten to make them public unless you send more. You should never give in. Instead, tell an adult you trust immediately so they can help report it to law enforcement. Full stop. Examples from the news. An adult convinced a 15-year-old M18 to send him nude photos by pretending to be in the modeling industry. He then threatened to distribute the photos unless she had sex with him. An adult manipulated teen boys into performing sex acts on webcam and then threatened to publish the videos on pornography websites if the boys did not continue performing sex acts for him. Some people are so good at manipulating teens that sometimes the teens don't even realize they've been tricked. Then they might be afraid to say anything about it because they've been threatened. They feel guilty and think people will blame them. They think that no one will believe them. It's never your fault, and you should not be ashamed to tell someone and ask for help. The fault lies with the adult because responsible adults do not start or have romantic relationships with teens. If an adult acts interested in a romantic relationship with you, it's a red flag that you cannot trust them. If someone online sends you an inappropriate request, here are some steps you can take. Don't engage them, refuse to talk about sex, and don't accept or share sexual images. Block them or unfriend them. Don't meet them offline. Tell an adult you trust. Full stop. Telling an adult you trust is important even if you've already handled the situation. Some teens don't want to talk to an adult because they worry the adult will overreact, are afraid they'll be blamed, think the adult can't help, are embarrassed. But telling someone like a teacher, school counselor, parent or other relative can be a good move. They can help you take next steps, such as deciding what evidence to save. They can also help you get some perspective on the situation. No one should make you uncomfortable online, especially adults. Get an adult that you feel comfortable talking with to help you handle and report the situation. An adult can also help you report to law enforcement and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's Cyber Tip Line. The Cyber Tip Line works with law enforcement to help investigate sexual solicitations. You can report anyone who sends you adult images, anyone who asks you to send images of yourself, anyone who talks to you about adult subjects, anyone who asks you to meet offline. It may seem easier to just ignore these kinds of requests instead of reporting them, but when you make a report, you help make the internet that much safer for your friends, siblings and peers.